What's up, YouTube? It's Azariel, and I found this video on World Star Hip Hop, and I thought I'd just talk to y'all about it. Um, Earlier this year, or it was sometime late last year, I'm not exactly sure because I can't remember, but it was a kid that was claiming to be a gang member over Facebook, and and his uncle had found out about him. As you can see, like I have the screenshot from that particular video right here. Um, but what happened in that video was that the uncle had made his nephew confess that he was not in the gang, that he wasn't involved in that, and to let him know that he, didn't come from that lifestyle. He was letting them know, hey, we don't come from that. That's not our background. We aren't no gang, and you ain't come from no gang. So you admit to these people on webcam right now that you aren't involved in that you didn't come from that. And his nephew did. But then the uncle had took it a step further, and he whipped his nephew on camera. And then he made his nephew post a video on the internet. And and I know a lot of people are going to be upset, but like I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Well, what happens is that months after that video had went viral on the internet, because millions of people had watched it, and I mean millions. Months after that video had went viral, the nephew who was in the video, and he was only 16 years old, unfortunately, like, he was shot to death, right there in front of his home. And like I said before, I know a lot of people are going to get mad. They're going to try to blame the uncle, for whipping his nephew on webcam. You have to understand the reasoning behind the uncle. First off, let me just say this. His uncle wasn't the one who shot his nephew. His uncle was not the one that shot his nephew. Whoever these guys were that shot him are the reason why, that 16-year-old kid is dead. You have to understand the reasoning behind why the nephew, well, why the uncle did what he did. You got to understand, kids these days are running rampant. They're running rampant to the point where it's ridiculous. And, one day his uncle had got concerned, checked his Facebook page, and he found out some stuff that, that no parent really wants to find out, and that a lot of parents just ignore. A lot of parents and a lot of guardians don't go to that extent to where they would check their kids' Facebook or, their MySpace or whatever other like social networking site that they allow their kids to be on. Because it's a lot of stuff that happens on there. And for this kid, he was pretending to be a gang member on there. Now, in this video right here on WorldStar, as you can see, like, this is a different video. But this is just like a little screenshot of that video in which the uncle was whipping the nephew. In this video, like his uncle had said, that he was just showing his nephew tough love, and he felt that putting it on the internet may have drawn some attention that he didn't mean for it to draw. In his eyes, as an uncle, he was protecting his nephew. He was alerting other parents, hey, your kids might be on these social sites doing something that they aren't supposed to be doing, and you need to discipline them. And he used his nephew as an example. Now, do I think that's what got his nephew killed? Not necessarily. Like like the way I am right now, like I'm kind of on the fence because one, it's a part of me that feels like, since the video went on the internet and went viral, maybe the nephew got teased at school. Most likely that's what happened. He got teased at school and he maybe felt like he had to prove himself, like just so he could stop being teased and he won't be made fun of and things like that. But you know, and he ended up doing something that caused somebody to kill him, which I would hate to think. In 2011, you have all these kids out there trying to prove themselves to be like this quote unquote cool person in school. Like in every school, every kid is basically trying to be this cool kid. And in this case, this kid was trying to act bad. And when his uncle found out, he wanted his nephew to admit what he was doing was wrong. And it's just fucked up how things turned out. Now, it's a part of me that supports the original video, like where this happened, but it's another part of the video that makes me wants me to blame the uncle, kinda, but like, hey, you shouldn't have put that video on the internet of you whipping him. Now, me personally, if he was my nephew, like I would have I like posted the video up where, of that part where he was admitting that he wasn't in a gang, and then I would have just turned it off there. But I guess in the heat of the moment, he just said, "Forget you want to act like that." I mean, it's really no difference than when like you were in elementary school and like and for some kids, they were acting so bad in school to the point where their parents would actually come up to the school and they would whip them in front of the classroom. I would say that it's on the level of that. And I just hate that this happened because the kid was only 16 and like Christmas is right around the block. Christmas is right around the corner and their nephew won't, like his mother won't have a son this Christmas. He won't have a nephew this Christmas. Their family just lost a family member. And now, like I said, like I'm kind of on the fence, but the adult in me doesn't blame the uncle because it's plenty of parents out there that would have done the same thing. You can't blame this uncle. In all honesty, you can't blame this uncle for doing what he did. You really can't. He was trying to protect his nephew from that lifestyle. Even in this video, he said that he wished that he would have been in his life a lot more than he was, but he really was trying to protect his nephew. He really thought he was doing his nephew some justice. He was disciplining him. He was giving his nephew some discipline. Now, in different communities, they have different ways they discipline their kids. Some people take away their children's most used item, like a toy or a cell phone or like, or their iPods or their laptops or their computers, like they'll just take them away in order to teach them a lesson. So, okay, since you want to act bad, well, I'm gonna take this from you for like some time, and maybe then you'll learn your lesson. Some parents put their kids in a corner, or they make them hold up books until their arms get tired. Or in the black community, especially, which is where I know from experience that we got whipped, and it was basically just a lesson teacher. It's no different than anything else. When you really look at it, the reasoning behind it, it's just to teach your kids that when you do something really bad, there's consequences for your actions. And it helped a lot of us. Me, I got whipped when I was a kid, and you really think twice because you don't want to get that whipping, or like you don't want to get that punishment. But I'm like, and like you thought twice before you did whatever it was you was about to do that you knew was wrong. It cost him a whipping on the internet, and he had to confess that he wasn't a gang member. So, I mean, yeah, he may have lost cool points, but the real one to blame is the one who shot the kid. It's not the uncle. It's the one who shot the kid. His uncle was given what they call tough love. And there's a lot of parents out there that supported what the uncle did. Even after this, they're still going to support what the uncle did. I'm not saying they're in the wrong for doing that either, because he was actually trying to protect his nephew. It was the one who shot the nephew who was the one to blame. The uncle was in the right now for whipping his nephew, but I can't even by me knowing that, like, it's a part of me that thinks that maybe he shouldn't have put the video on the internet with him actually whipping him. Like, he could have left that part out, but he was being a parent, or like he was being a guardian, and he was trying to discipline his nephew. Like I said, it's no different. Well, like, you can compare it to being whipped in front of the classroom. You know how you had some students that got whipped in front of the classroom? Like, in a way, like, I would compare it to that, But it's just fucked up how this happened. This didn't have to happen to this kid, the one who shot him. I hope they find him. In the video, they did say that the murder was still under investigation, and it's just sad. You got some kids out there who's just gonna tease and tease and tease, and eventually he's gonna get tired of it, and he probably had to defend himself on multiple occasions. And like I said, like, I blame the one that shot him. I don't blame the uncle entirely. But like, I'm gonna let you guys like, just comment on the video, and like, express your thoughts on like, if you think the uncle was right or wrong for putting the video on the internet. Also, like, I'm gonna have the link in the description on WorldStar, like, for this video right here, and you can view it for yourself, and you can watch it, and you can make your own opinions on it. But like, that's just the end of the story. My name is Azariel. Just came at you with another video, and it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. The kid was only 16. Man, it's a cold world. Peace. And rest in peace, little man.